From the News Channel 5 network, this is Pharmacist-on-Call.
Good evening and Happy New Year, Nashville, Middle Tennessee, Southern Kentucky. Those of you as far west as Jackson, Tennessee. Those of you as far east as McMinnville. This is Pharmacist on Call with your host, Dr. Sean Pruitt. And if you are watching this show, I am your community pharmacist. Well, first of all, everyone, you can see I'm here on a Wednesday, which is strange. And I want to apologize to you regular viewers. We had a few scheduling conflicts and some other things come up. So this was the first available show that I was able to do for the year. Wanted to welcome you to the show. This is your 1 hour forum for you to call in with those health questions and those comments. Rule number one. There are no silly questions. So those questions that you think are silly and mundane, chances are they're going to bless someone else. So call in with those questions about medications, health concerns, natural health or herbal remedies that you've heard of and not quite sure, or even if you have a medical question that you want to ask your doctor, and there's probably a small percentage chance that I may know what's going on and I can kind of help you. We wanted to get started with some condolences. First of all, Sandra Coleman, who was one of my long-time patients. She lost her battle with leukemia in December, and so I want to certainly send my thoughts and prayers out to her family. And I appreciated her sister Barbara actually informed me. I hadn't seen Miss Coleman since her diagnosis, so sorry to see her go. The second set of condolences, kind of personal, it goes out to my family, particularly on the loss of my baby sister, Stephanie Gabriel Hardy Stevens, who passed away suddenly last Tuesday. So I want to send a shout out to my family, especially her very devoted husband, Casey Stevens, her daughter, Casey T. Stevens, and her other daughter, Kayla Stevens. So while she was the youngest of the five of us, she was kind of the mama bear, so she kind of nurtured and took care of everyone. She was the advisor, helped me for a while in the pharmacy, so she will be sorely missed. Love you, Pootie. Wanted to move right on to some shout outs. First of all, I wanted to congratulate my alma mater, the University of Tennessee, on whooping up on Nebraska in the Music City Bowl. Also wanted to congratulate Clemson because I am such a diehard UT fan. Anyone who beats Alabama, I'm happy about. So congratulations, Clemson. I also wanted to send some anniversary shout outs to my sisters in Greekdom, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha and Zeta Phi Beta. And there were some other organizations in there, but I'm too cute to even mention those organizations. Yeah, you can call me Patty. I also want to give a shout out to a longtime friend, childhood friend, Camille Reese McMullen, who retained her seat as appellate judge. So Camille, congratulations. Also wanted to send some birthday shout outs. So my daughter, she turned 13 on January the 4th. So Shauna Lanier Pruitt, happy belated birthday. Also my niece, the very next day, Chelsea, she turned about 24 or 25. But look, I'm sorry, I got to cut into this. This show is about you all and we've got some calls. Caller, welcome to Pharmacist on Call. How may we help you?
Hey, this is Beverly.
Yes, ma'am. How may we help you?
Hey, well, I was wondering if you could give me a brief description of Levemir, the insulin, whether or not you should give it in the evening or morning hours. Does it make a difference? And add in Humalog if needed later on during the day. Would that work together? Are there any dangers of it?
Okay, so your question is, when should you give your Levemir?
Right.
When is your trouble spot with your blood sugar?
Oh, this is a general question.
Okay, well, it depends actually on your blood sugar. So since Levemir is a long-acting insulin, if you're finding that your trouble spot is kind of in the middle of the night, then you'll want to give it a little earlier, kind of in the day, in the evening, because its peak, it kind of has a peak effect a while after you give it. So it depends on when you're having trouble with your blood sugars.
Okay, just say the person's bottoming out at midnight.
Bottoming out at midnight?
40s and 50s, so.
Oh yeah, then I actually would want to back off on the Levemir dose. And you said they're giving, what else in Humalog in there?
That's what we're thinking about doing. We're trying to look at different insulins and the thinking maybe Levemir and then Humalog if she goes too high.
Well, it looks like the issue is that you're bottoming out, so I'm thinking I would back off on that dose.
On the Levemir?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a peak time on Levemir?
Yeah, but it's escaping me, and I should know this. Probably within 6 to 8 hours or so, you should be reaching your peak. When are you giving it?
Well, we haven't. It's just a consideration. I'm trying to figure out, on which the doctor is asking me to consider which one we should go with.
They don't want to try Lantus?
No, they actually mentioned Levemir. It's currently on Novolin 70/30.
Okay.
And she's bottoming out at midnight on that.
On 70/30?
Yes. Even on small dosage, like 8 units.
Is the patient eating in the evening? Are they having an evening meal?
Yes. And so, we don't really understand that, so that's why we're wanting to switch from that to Levemir in the morning, which I always thought you're supposed to give it in the evening, but in the morning, that way, if she tries to bottom out, then it would be in the daytime hours.
I think that you are thinking absolutely correctly, and so yes, she has an opportunity to kind of counteract the hypoglycemia. She glass of orange juice or some sort of candy to kind of bring her back.
Right.
So yeah, I would go there, Rob, but that's strange on 70/30 bottoming out at midnight.
Yeah.
What's the dose on that?
Well, it was like 8 units.
That's strange. What is the fasting blood sugar for the patient?
She runs it depends on if she bottoms out at midnight, then she's only like 180 something in the morning after orange juice and crackers.
Well, are you testing her before she does any of that? 180 even after orange juice and crackers, that's still not really high to me.
No, it's like in the evening she'd be all right. A little high to constitute maybe 8 units, like 270. And then she'll get 8 units and she bottom out to 49. That was the case like last night.
I think that... Is she on anything like metformin or what is
it? Novolin 70/30. And so she say she was 287 evening at supper time, 8 units of Novolin 70/30, and then bottoms out to 49 at midnight. And that's kind of a norm, to bottom out.
Yeah, sometimes you'll get those peaks and valleys with sugars. That's really odd, though, to bottom out so bad. Okay, with 8
so
units.
I was just kind of wondering, would Levemir be a good option? And that's what the doctor is asking me to consider.
Well, I'd be concerned, because Levemir is long-acting, and if she is bottoming out with 70/30, which is kind of moderately acting, I would say back off on that dose.
Yeah, okay, that's what we're
on the
considering
70/30.
Well.
I think you run into serious problems once you start with a long-acting insulin, and you're going to be bottomed out for a while because it's a long-acting insulin.
So, and your advice on the Humalog is not to do it too?
Well, Humalog, you would probably want to do. It's more of an after-meal kind of thing if she has a spike.
Right.
Before meal thing, if you're anticipating a spike.
So,
But this
not
doesn't.
to do that then, because since she's bottoming out.
The bottoming out is more of a concern to me than the high blood sugar.
Right. That's what they were thinking on switching though. So I'm confused. I don't really know what option I should take.
Ask him if he's willing to consider backing down on the 8 units.
Okay.
And let's see what she does.
Yeah.
Around that midnight time.
Right. Okay.
Or maybe even adjusting. I could see if she was peaking, if her blood sugars were really high. And then what's she running in the morning before she eats anything?
Well, sometimes it's normal. It's like in the 150s, 160s, 170s. She's never the same. I mean, she doesn't have a constant certain range. But
how old is the patient?
86.
86. I'm thinking maybe a good glass of beetroot juice may help her. And but I'm not sure, just A, because of the age, and B, because the sugars, they're not really running that high. In the morning, 150. Yeah.
Well, in the evening time, by the time she has breakfast and lunch, in the evening it may be in the 200s, and maybe sometimes rare in the 300s.
Okay.
300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. 300. But I mean, like last night it's 289, and she gets 8 units, and she bottoms out all the way down to 49.
See if the doc is willing to adjust that sliding scale.
Okay,
to
so
allow
there's such a thing as a sliding scale with novel and 70/30.
Well, we can create one.
Right. Okay, and that's just basically trial and error here.
Well, yeah, based on what the blood sugar is, we give a certain amount of insulin.
Right.
So now instead of giving 8 units, maybe we'll give 4.
Right.
Or 3.
Okay. And what does beet juice do?
Beetroot juice also lowers the blood sugar, but without the bottoming out effect.
Oh, okay. So she could, instead of getting insulin, then beet juice would be an answer for the evening time.
I think she could probably actually do both, but I want to get her insulin correct first.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't even add that on.
Okay, but if she's already bottoming out in the evening, then she wouldn't need beetroot juice.
Nah. Just as a substitute for the insulin. I'm not even sure. Absent those couple of high ones, I'm not sure she's a good candidate for insulin. And I'm just going by what you're telling me.
She's been on it for like 20 years.
Chaz, okay.
So yeah, she usually runs high, but she's had poor health and the age and everything. For some reason, past several months she's been running inconsistently, low, bottoming out at midnight just about all the time on that.
Okay. Yeah, let's ask Doc if we can back off on that evening dose of 70/30.
All right.
All righty.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, everyone, stay right there. The phones are lighting up. Call in. We'll be right back.